Let me see. Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in on Joshua 23, and bear with me. I'm going to get this music going real quick. Salakia. Let's see. All right, here we go. So, the book of Joshua, the 23rd chapter. Let me grab that. It says, "And it came to pass a long time after that, Yahawah had given rest unto Israel from all their enemies round about, and Joshua waxed old and stricken in age." All right, so Joshua was old at this point, who was the leader of Israel. He was the successor to Moses, right? Joshua was after Moses. So he's old and stricken in age, and what's it say? "And Joshua called for all Israel, and for their elders, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers, and said unto them, I am old and stricken in age." So he's basically, he's about to rest with the forefathers. So he called all the heads of the nation of Israel, all the leaders, the leadership, right? And it says, "And ye have seen all that Yahawah your power hath done unto all these nations because of you. For Yahawah your power, for Yahawah your power is he that fought for you." All right. So, hey man, brothers, we're in this truth. We're being diligent. We're doing what Yahushua said to do. Feed the lambs. Guess what? Yahawah's gonna fight for us, man. See? And if Yahawah's for us, who could be against us? Let's get that real quick. And it's no one, brothers. Like, we got to be diligent. We got to be sincere in this knowledge and this truth of ours. And Yahawah's going to fight for us, man. Even before the chariots come. All right? Because we're vexed here every single day in Babylon. Right? Romans 8:31. "What shall we say to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us?" All right? So no matter what we're going through, what trials and tribulation, what fire we're going through, guess what, man? And sometimes you got to be patient, right? Sometimes it's gonna feel like, man, you just keep catching hell from every direction. But you have to be steadfast, man. Unwavering, even in those times of trouble. We're supposed to rejoice in our times of trouble, brothers. Joshua 23. He's going to fight for us, and who can be against us, man, if Yahawah has got our back, But we got to be sincere in this knowledge for those things to happen. This is verse 4. "Behold, I have divided unto you," and let me read that verse 3 again. It says, "And ye have seen all that Yahawah your power, the Most High, hath done unto all these nations because of you." See that? So it's because of us he does this to the nations. It's going to be because of us, for us, that he's going to destroy, our chief enemy, Esau, Edom. You see? He's got certain nations back, and it starts out with his prophets and the elect, the people who believe his prophets, who are of the nation of Israel. That's who he's going to fight for. He's going to protect us. He's going to fight for us. We're going to go through some trials and tribulation because he's going to test us, you see? But guess what? We just got to keep enduring. But anyway, verse 4, "Behold, I have divided unto you by lot these nations that remain to be inheritance for your tribes. from Jordan with all the nations that I have cut off, even unto the great sea westward. So the nations that he didn't basically submit 100%, that he gave them as an inheritance to the tribes of Israel. This is the same thing that's going to happen in the kingdom. We're going to inherit the heathen, right? Ask of me and I shall give thee thy heathen, right? The word heathen means nations. So let's go to that real quick. Psalms 2:8. Ask of me and I shall give thee the nations. Heathen means nation. For thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. All right? So just like even Esau right now, he's got, to an extent, the other heathen nations have been given unto him, because he's the leader who teaches all the nations to do wickedness, right? All kings have fornicated with Esau. Let me see. Bear with me. Let me grab this. Let's see if this is the one I'm looking for. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Talking about Babylon, America, who's likened unto a woman, the whore, right? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Because America is known as a place of delicacies, right? That's why you had, 30 years ago, you had all these nations trying to come to America. Why? So they could taste the delicacies of Babylon the whore. America the Great, right? Babylon the Great. So anyway, just proving that all nations have drunk of the wine, right? And the fornication, it's not just dealing with sex before marriage. Like that's what a Christian thinks when they read that. Fornication was, idolatry was the beginning of spiritual fornication, as it tells you in the Apocrypha. All right, and I'm not going to get too off topic, so I'm going to go back to Joshua 23, and it says in verse 5, but these tribes are going to be an inheritance. That was the point. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen, the nations. So the nations are going to be subject unto us. They're going, just like Esau right now. He's got a lot of nations that are subject unto him. That's why he puts sanctions on these countries. He does different things. He pushes his agenda, his policies, his democracy. He pushes it on all these other countries, So, in a sense, that shows you Yahawah's a power of balance. Because right now, Esau's got a lot of power over the other heathen nations. While in the kingdom, we're going to have the power. All right? And during the time of Joshua, we even had a glimpse of that power. But it's going to come back and be eternal. We ain't going to lose the power over the heathen. All right? The inheritance of the heathen. We ain't going to lose that. And why? Because Yahawah B'Shem Yahushua is going to fight for us. Who can be against us if Yahawah is for us? All right? Joshua 23:5. And Yahawah your power, he shall expel them from before you and drive them from out of your sight, and you shall possess their land, and as Yahawah your power had promised unto you. So if we keep doing the work and we keep, pushing this truth with 100% sincerity, that was Satan, with sound doctrine, guess what? We're going to get these promises. We're going to get these possessions. All right? He's going to expel our enemies from among us. All right? And even on the low level right now, on this side, this is where it starts, here on this side, before the kingdom. Verse 6. Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that ye turn not aside therefrom to the right hand or to the left. Right, so we're supposed to acknowledge the law. These Christians, these damn Christians, oh, the law is done away with. We know that the law is not done away with, all right? You're on a low level if you think the law is done away with, and most of you Christians, I say 99% of you, believe that the law is done away with. All right, which says foolishness, and I'm not even going to go into that because that's a different lesson. But it says, "Ye shall possess the land," and it says, "Be courageous and do the commandments." Right, the law of Moses. So he that so I'm going to bring this out because it's important. This is the commandments are obviously, we know, as being in this knowledge and this truth, we know that the law is not done away with, and we still got to keep the law to the best of our ability, even in our captivity, right? It says, Psalm 111 and 10, "The fear of Yahawah is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding of all they that do his commandments, his praise endureth forever." All right? So we're going to be praising Yahawah forever. But guess what? That wisdom, to get wisdom, you have to do the commandments. If you're not doing the commandments, you're not going to be able to get wisdom. All right? It says, "A good understanding have all they that do his commandments." So if you want wisdom, you got to do his commandments. All right? And the brothers, we've been to the best of our ability, we've been doing his commandments. About a week and a half ago, we kept the Day of Atonement, right? A solemn holiday, a a holiday, a high holy day that you keep. You don't necessarily celebrate, right? But you keep it. Like we afflicted our body on that day, the Day of Atonement. This is a commandment. And then we just passed the Feast of Tabernacles. We kept that to the best of our ability in our captivity, because that's supposed to be a 7-day high holy day. But we're in captivity. Brothers were only able to, keep it one day, and that's what we had. We actually, celebrated the Feast of Tabernacle yesterday. So, but guess what? We're getting understanding and wisdom. Why? Because we're keeping the commandments to the best of our ability. You dumbass Christians, you think you're not supposed to keep the commandments. You think you can go out there and eat anything you choose. You think you can go, have sex with another man's wife, and you think you're covered by what you guys call the blood of Christ, where that's all a bunch of BS, all right? No, the commandments are in full effect. But again, that's another lesson. I'm going back to Joshua 23:7. "That ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them." So you ain't supposed to even make mention of these other heathen nations' gods. All right, and I'm going to tell you right now that false idol, JC, Cesare Borgia, you're not supposed to even make mention of his name. You over here calling on that bullshit that the oppressor gave you. And guess what? You ain't even supposed to make a mention of another name of their gods. Meaning you don't say Jesus Christ. You don't preach no Jesus Christ. We're coming in the spirit of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. All right. And you make mention of others. You're trying to give credence and credit and homage to all these other false deities, these false gods. And guess what? You're breaking this rule right here. I'm reading. It says, let me read it again. "That ye come not among these nations." So really, separate from the heathen. Separate yourself from the heathen. So even if it's your own family or your people, around you, your own heritage, hey, separate yourself from those heathen. "Neither make mention of the name of their gods." Don't be saying no other names besides Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. You don't give no credit, credence, homage, approval to any other power or any other God aside from Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. All right? And why is this truth dealing with us? Why is the Spirit dealing with us? Because we're those Lord's will. We're those men that are humbling ourselves to this truth. We're keeping these commandments. We're keeping these high holy days to the best of our ability, while yet we are in captivity. All right? Let me keep reading. Number 8, verse 8. But cleave unto Yahawah your power, as ye have done unto this day. All right? Joshua was telling the nation, hey, don't make mention of no other gods. Keep, keep Yahawah, cleave to Yahawah, B'Hashem Yahushai. You don't cleave to any other gods. Don't make mention of them. All right? Verse 9. For Yahawah hath driven out from before you great nations and strong, but as for you, no man hath been able to stand before you unto this day. So this is when we were the power. This is when we were the superpower on the planet, right? That's why he's like, Yahweh's already, he was showing our people like, hey, he made us strong during the time of Joshua. He made us be able to win the battles, win the wars, Verse 10, one man of you shall chase 1,000, and for Yahawah your power, he it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. All right? So Yahawah's going to fight for us, man. We're going to be able to, one man's going to be able to chase 1,000. So this is talking about a future prophecy, because this is dealing with superpower, spiritual power. Because for one man to chase 1,000, you have to have some spiritual power. All right? And yes, it's metaphorically speaking, but it's going to be literal when his men get that spiritual power. All right, verse 11. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love Yahawah your power. Else if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you, know for a certainty that Yahawah your power will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until ye perish from off this good land which Yahawah your power hath given you. So this actually ended up happening, right? It's still happening, right? Because our people have went off. The men of the Lord, or the Israelites, are coming back into remembrance, starting out with the 144,000, starting out with the men of the Lord. So we're bringing the nation back into, Yahawah is bringing the nation back into remembrance, but he's using us, the vessels, to execute his enterprise. All right? But we ain't supposed to make, when you really get down to the nitty gritty, you don't make marriages with these other heathen. And really, because, we're in the truth, and if we're those men, Lord's will, it kid said we can inherit the heathen. So technically, we can take the women in marriages, but you don't want to go off. You find a little badass Edomite, and then next thing you know, you're in the Christian church because you want to please her. That's the reason, all right. But if you have the character and integrity, and you're really of the elect, you ain't gonna do all that. You're gonna keep it real with Yahawah B'Hashem Yahushai, and you will lose that woman before you lose this truth. All right, verse 13. For know for a certainty that Yahawah your power will no more drive out. Oh yeah, I read this. So yeah, they're going to be snares, traps, scourges. That's what a snare is, a trap, right? Even our King Solomon fell into that snare, right? He started setting up idols to the in his old age, to the women that he was dealing with. They were heathen women, and he was setting up idols to their gods, and that's ultimately why Yahawah punished our nation and split us up into two kingdoms, was because of Solomon's sin. Because right after he passed away, Yahawah had cursed the nation and split the kingdom. All right? But let me keep reading. And behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth, and ye know in all your hearts or minds and in all your souls that not one thing hath failed of all the good things which Yahawah your power spake concerning you. All are come to pass unto you, and not one thing hath failed thereof. All right? Because even in Joshua's time, there were prophecies that Yahawah B'Hashem Yahushua, that they were fulfilling the prophecies. Yahawah was showing the Israelites, the truth. Our people, we had the truth. We had the names, knowledge of the names. We knew who we were. All right? Our heritage wasn't taken from us, during the time of Joshua. See? But all these things came to pass. We start because why? Because we went off. Anytime we go off as the Israelites, meaning we go off in any shape, way, form, or fashion, calling on different gods, making mention of other gods that are not, of the truth, Yahawah, Bashem, Yahushai, guess what? We're going to catch hell when you do that. All right? Verse 16. It says, when ye have transgressed the covenant of Yahawah your power, which he commanded you, and the covenant means agreement. So when you have transgressed the agreement of Yahawah your power, which he commanded you, and have gone and served other gods, and bowed yourselves to them, then shall the anger of Yahawah be kindled against you, and ye shall perish quickly from off the good land which he hath given unto you. So it's a two-way street, man. If we keep the law, statutes, and the commandments, just like, going into the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. The first, 14 are the blessings, and 15 through 68 are the curses. Guess what? Same thing here, man. And same thing today. If we go off and we just forget about Yahawah, Bashem, Yoshua, we forsake Yahawah, our true power, and you go after these heathen, the gods of the heathen, meaning the gods of the other nations, then guess what? Yahweh's anger is going to be quickly kindled against us. And he'll put us to death. He'll judge us, man. He'll put us to death. That's judgment. All right. So we keep this. We keep this. We keep this commandments to the best of our ability, and we should never pay homage or make mention or give credit to these other gods that the heathen gave you. All right. And when you come out of that foolishness, you know exactly what we're talking about. You're going to put away that fake ass, white Jesus. You're going to put away any other madness that you know what I'm saying, that you've been a part of. Right? You're going to come into the truth, and you're going to be sincere. Maybe you don't keep the commandments to 100% because nobody can, but you don't sit there running around teaching people that the law's done away with, and you actually give an effort to do the commandments. And then guess what? That's where you get wisdom. When you do a good understanding, have they that do them. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. I want to give all the praise, and hey, when we do them, not only do we have the understanding, I'm going to make this point, but also Yahawah is going to fight for us. All right. So that's what it is, man. I'm going to close out. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge the Akim for pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect. Shalom, brothers. Keep enduring.